Israel flattens Gaza district. Hits Orthodox
U.S.
Church as
vetoes UN
invasion
Security
moves.
Council action on Israel
Trip to
Gaza.
Israel ties Biden and U.S. to any Gaza
U.S. Navy
offensive.
warship near Yemen
U.S.
intercepts
Army charges
projectiles,
Private
Pentagon
Travis
says.
King with desertion. U.S. leadership into North Korea together. Biden says in bid Trump for Ukraine, Sidney Powell funds. Pleads guilty. Could testify in Georgia
Another
case.
Trump lawyer reaches plea deal with Georgia prosecutors.
What's going on
in the world? Welcome back to the second episode of What's Going On in the World. I'm your host, Sarah Siles, with
Tommy Hausman. And this is October 20th, 2023. It's Friday. And so, Sarah, why don't you tell us what's going on in the world?
Violence in the Middle East continues to persist as Israel continues to attack the Gaza Strip. Reuters reported that Israel did give Palestinians warning to evacuate, but not everyone did because the people did not have anywhere to go, nor did they want to lose their homes. So far, over 4,000 Palestinians have been killed. There have been numerous airstrikes on Gaza, and Israel has cut off food and other supplies from Gaza. There is only one place, the Rafah crossing, where Gaza borders Egypt, that supplies are able to be sent into Gaza. The defense minister of Israel has explained that this violence is going to continue until Hamas and its military are destroyed in order to ensure safety in Israel. On Wednesday, the United Nations Security Council met to vote on whether a humanitarian pause should be enacted, but this was vetoed. This past week, President Biden also visited Israel, which could potentially strengthen the United States' influence on Israel's actions. The United States does plan to send $100 million to help Palestinians, but Biden also plans to ask Congress to send billions of dollars to aid Israel. On Thursday, the United States found and brought down drones launched from Yemen in the Red Sea. These drones were launched from a group aligned with Iran, bringing up the question as to how involved Iran is in the conflict. Last night, Israel struck a church in Palestine in which both Palestinian Christians and Muslims had sought shelter. Striking churches in which people sought shelter is a war crime, but Israel said that hitting the church was not the intention of their strike.
This whole situation is just so unfortunate. And I think that there are a lot of vast nuances that are going on that have a lot of people up in arms and upset. And I think that I want to take this moment to talk about responsible journalism and to make sure we get all the facts right before claiming someone did this or someone didn't do this. And to be responsible in getting the most accurate information out possible and not being the first to get that information out, but making sure that information is accurate. On Thursday, Biden delivered a speech in which he explained that it is important that the United States should continue to help the war efforts in Israel and Ukraine. He explained that Hamas and Putin both pose a threat to democracy, and he plans to ask Congress for money to support Ukraine and Israel and provide humanitarian aid. Biden also explained in his speech why it is important that the United States get involved in these events. He explained that terrorist groups that are not stopped will continue to wreak havoc and pose a threat to the United States. If Putin is not stopped in Ukraine, other countries near Russia may be attacked, and the United States will take action if a NATO ally is attacked.
It's also important to note that when Biden went to Israel, he urged them not to make the same mistakes as the United States did in 9/11, as to preserve citizens' lives. However, there is a problem with Biden requesting the money from Congress. On October 3rd, Kevin McCarthy was removed from his position as Speaker of the House. Reuters reported this morning Jim Jordan ran but did not gain enough votes to assume this position and take Kevin McCarthy's place. He needed to earn 214 votes, but he only received 194. Jordan, a Republican, did not receive votes from all the Republican representatives. 25 Republicans voted for candidates other than Jordan. However, the Republican representatives in favor of Jordan becoming Speaker have encouraged him to try to gain more support and run again. This is the third week that the United States does not have a Speaker of the House, and this is creating a problem because Biden has requested money to send aid to Ukraine and Israel and to improve U.S. security. The House is not able to do anything about this request without a Speaker of the House.
Yeah, I believe that they went through that vote sequence 3 times today, or at least twice today. And now in a secret ballot loss, the House GOP has abandoned Jordan for speaker. I do not know who they are going to put up for speaker next, but they're no longer supporting Jordan. Reuters has also reported that one of Trump's lawyers and one of his ex-lawyers have pleaded guilty. Sidney Powell has admitted that she helped Trump to try and overturn the 2020 presidential election results. She pleaded guilty to 6 different instances in which she tried to interfere with the election results. She said that she would be willing to testify against Trump. Kenneth Chesebro, another lawyer, pleaded guilty for trying to overturn the election results as well. He pleaded guilty to filing false documents. He, too, has said that he would testify against Trump. In other Trump news, Trump was fined $5,000 for breaking a gag order by leaving abusive posts online. The judge had barred Mr. Trump from attacking his court staff after the former president posted a picture on social media of the justice's law clerk, Allison Greenfield, with Senator Chuck Schumer, the majority leader. Mr. Trump labeled Ms. Greenfield Schumer's girlfriend and said he was running this case against me. A spokeswoman for Mr. Schumer this month called the social media post ridiculous, absurd, and false, adding that the senator did not know Ms. Greenfield. Mr. Trump's post was removed from a social media platform on Truth Social on October 3rd.
I believe that this is the 4th criminal case that Trump has been charged with in less than 5 months. On the other side of the world, China is in the process of deciding how they want to handle U.S. sanctions on Taiwan and how different responses to these sanctions will affect the economy. While China has been contemplating the sanctions, Reuters has outlined how Chinese economists agree that it would be detrimental to China if the United States were to impose the same sanctions that it has imposed on Russia, and if China was to lose access to U.S. dollars. Analysts have also explained how dependent China is on imports and the effects not being able to import goods would have on the country. While China is still considering forcing its way into Taiwan, it is also considering the risks and what it would lose if it takes that course of action.
Taiwan reported that 13 Chinese Air Force planes in its air defense zone. Taiwan's defense ministry said that it detected 13 Chinese Air Force planes entering Taiwan's air defense zone on Thursday morning, including fighter jets and drones, accompanying Chinese warships carrying out combat patrols and drills.
In July, Travis King, an Army private, crossed the border of South Korea into North Korea. He was released from North Korea into China in September. From there, he was transported to Texas. It is still unknown as to why he decided to flee to North Korea. While he has faced other charges in the past, this past week the United States Army charged King with the crime of desertion.
It seems that he is also involved in solicitation of a minor and possession of child pornography. On a lighter note, it looks like we're going to have a classic El Nino winter, which means that we should expect a warmer and wetter winter than usual. But it still seems like we might get some snow in some atypical areas across the United States.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode. Please join us next week to find out
what's going on in the world. Israel flattens Gaza district. Its Orthodox
U.S.
Church as
vetoes UN
invasion
Security
moves.
Council action on Israel
Trip to
Gaza.
Israel ties Biden and U.S. to any Gaza
U.S. Navy
offensive.
warship near Yemen
U.S.
intercepts
Army charges
projectiles,
Private
Pentagon
Travis
says.
King with desertion. U.S. leadership
into
holds
North
the world
Korea.
together. Biden says in bid. Trump lawyer Ukraine Sidney Powell funds. Pleads guilty. Could testify in Georgia
Another
case.
Trump lawyer reaches plea deal with Georgia prosecutors.
What's going on
in the world?
what's going on in the world?